Welcome everyone to the Three Cynics Gaming Podcast. I'm Clay here with my two brothers, Mark and Nate. We got a great show for you this week. We're going to talk about how modders have really come into their own when it comes to getting cheaters banned with fake cheats. That's so awesome. I love it. Also, the fact that Titanfall 2 is going to have a campaign. That's the shit. And many other things. But first up, what happened to you this week, Nate?
I had a 7-second interaction with somebody today that it made me know I hated them instantly.
It was that quick, huh?
Yep, we were on the elevator today together, me and this gentleman, and it's only a 3-floor building, and he was chewing with his mouth open and making loud mouth noises, and it took all my strength not to choke him.
Well, I mean, I second that motion.
I came into the shop this morning, and my coworker is having Fritos for breakfast and just jawing away, crunch, crunch, crunch. I just left. I was in there for maybe 5 seconds. I just turned around and walked out. How you doing, Don? I'll see you later.
I legitimately thought that I might have to hurt him, and it was maybe 7 seconds of interaction. It was amazing. I was like, I'm trapped on this elevator, and I'm like, hey, and he's not listening because he got headphones in, and thankfully he got off before I had to resort to violence, which would be really stupid, but it's so annoying.
Oh, I'm with you. We grew up with that.
I would have called you stupid
in the head.
I think that's what instilled it in us. All those pops in the back of the head. They're so insulting.
Oh, so that's what's up with me. What's up with you, Mark?
Oh, not much. Feeling much better.
Good.
So
yeah, you back from your long Caribbean vacation?
Yeah, that's exactly where it was. It was sweet and not painful or dizzy at all.
I understand.
So, but other than that, now same old grind it out at work. That's about it.
I didn't do anything awesome this week. Oh no, yes I did. I won a free copy of Rise of the Tomb Raider from Anantech. Shout out to you guys. It was awesome. Except, and I don't fault Anantech for this, but it came from the Windows 10 store, which is the awfulest thing in the whole world. I'm not going to bash them just for being the Windows store, because I love Windows. I won't use any other operating system because they're balls. But if you play a game from the Windows 10 store, you can't use Shadowplay to record your games because it blocks the software. And you can't use OBS because it blocks the software. You have to use the Xbox Game DVR app in the Windows 10 to record your gameplay, which doesn't work very well at all. So, sorry guys, you're not going to get a cool playthrough of the sweet Rise of the Tomb Raider from me. It sucks, because it's probably the prettiest game I've ever played.
Well, to quote the young people, I'm totes jelly. Whatever the fuck that means.
Well, I was just about to ask you what that meant. So, is that jealous?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Totally jealous.
Oh, okay.
Totes
right,
jelly.
They can't. Not in the loop.
They can't finish whole words anymore, Mark. They have to.
Oh no.
Have to stop halfway through each word.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm just not in the loop, I guess.
Syllables are too hard these days.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes perfect sense, I guess, huh?
No, it doesn't. Shut up. Don't rationalize that shit. Oh, okay.
You know, didn't they shrink jealousy to envy like forever ago just so you wouldn't have to say jealousy? We already shrank it to 4 letters. What else you want from us?
That's like got like 2 hard consonants in it, though.
I guess. Okay, wild. Let's start.
All right. First, in this week's news, we thought we'd give you the worst of it first, because this is just horrible. According to the dailymail.co.uk, a man in China, this is their headline, quote, horrific moment, a video game addict brutally beats his girlfriend after she turns off his computer in bid to stop him playing, end quote. There's a video.
Can I comment on that?
Sure.
The use of the word addict in place of shithead really kind of makes it seem like they're rationalizing a little bit his actions.
Well, but they did call it an addiction. You know what I'm saying? So there's, you know, an addiction is a disease. It's not a, you know, a guy being a piece of shit because he wants to play WoW.
Well, I think what Nate's getting at is the fact of how incredibly presumptuous they are. Because more than likely, this is a man who plays video games all the fucking time and ignores his girlfriend. But there's also the chance that he has a girlfriend who just simply can't stand video games and decides to fuck with him all the time. We don't know, and they can't say whether he's an addict or not. That's terribly presumptuous. Either way, the video is awful, and I'm not going to include it in the video version of the podcast, guys. You're going to have to go look it up for yourselves, because he just wails on this bitch. He fucking punches her in the face like 3 times and then kicks her a couple of times. When she gets up, he swings her around in some sort of merry-go motion and runs her head into a fucking railing, and of course she collapses and he walks away.
There's
And that's crazy. I haven't watched it.
You should watch it. There's a couple of issues here. First, I'm going to sound bad. I don't advocate hitting women. I don't advocate hitting anybody, contrary to the intro. Violence is generally not the answer. However, he should never put his hands on anyone like that, and she shouldn't take it upon herself to do the action she did. Not justifying what he did, just saying that if it's that much of a problem, both parties need to walk away. Secondly, if this happened in a cyber cafe or whatever where I was at, that dude would have gotten the beating of his fucking life. Why did nobody else in the video step in?
That's what I was thinking. When we were talking about it before we started recording, all I could think was, who in the fuck is standing there shooting the video with their cell phone and not fucking tackling this dude? Like seriously, you can see in the stills, this man is a full, like, head and a half taller than his girlfriend. Probably 60 or 70 pounds heavier. And he's just wailing on her, and nobody does anything. What the fuck is going on? And why are you recording it instead of doing something?
I am completely okay with 2 full-grown adults fighting one another if it's mutual and it ends at that. This clearly isn't mutual, and he is clearly in advantage in this altercation. And the fact that nobody stood up to even say something to him, let alone put his hands on him, because if you're going to beat the shit out of someone like that and someone is nearby, the newsflash, everyone, when you're standing by and you're just recording, you have a moral obligation as a human being to put a stop to it. When it's gone too far, and it went way too far in this video, you're
Sorry, Nate. I just
right.
Damn, dude. Yeah, he would get fucked up.
Your obligation as a human being is to put a stop to it.
At least put a stop to it. At least, like, I mean, after he kicked her in the face, dude. Come on. I mean, you gotta let her get slung on the ground and her head bashed in. I mean, oh my god, dude. Yeah, that makes me want to fly to China and kick somebody's ass.
Yeah, you know, one of the worst parts is, okay, this is in a cyber cafe, so it's bound to be in a metropolitan area, right?
Yeah.
So there's bound to be police nearby. But who knows? I mean, I don't know how rampant sexism is in China specifically. I know it's terrible in India and in the Middle East. I don't know what it's like in China, but I don't know why this video doesn't end with a police interaction. I mean, I know it's very brief, but
well,
I don't.
I didn't see if he got arrested or not, if that was in the article, but first of all, the fuck, all right? If he's going there, he's probably a regular, especially if he's playing, what was he playing, League of Legends, I believe?
Mm-hmm.
But it's nothing on League of Legends, who cares? But anyway, if he is there playing League of Legends, he's probably there all the time playing League of Legends, which means everybody else you can see in this video is probably aware of who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Which means if he hasn't been arrested, he needs to be. And shame on those people for not putting a stop to it, including the proprietor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. You can see a gentleman in the background of the stills who was sitting in the seat right next to him. When the altercation starts, the fucking coward turns his chair away.
I mean, you're not interrupting my wow, bitch. I'm just saying. I don't understand it. I mean, don't you have a right as a human or a necessity to not see others get hurt? I cringe at shit like that. You don't. I just don't understand that at all. That's wild, and especially over a video game. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't snap at my old lady. Like, bitch, did you just turn off my motherfucking game? But I'm not gonna get up and whip her ass.
Well, see, this is my issue with the word addict. If somebody's a gambling addict or a video game addict, the word addict kind of infers that at least a small portion of what's happening is not their fault. When really,
that's true.
And in some cases it is. There's a mental addiction to certain things. To assume that this man is a video game addict kind of feels to me like this particular company, the dailymail.com, is, at least in a small form, negating part of his responsibility in this. When really, he's a shithead. I'm in the same with Mark.
He's an abusive asshole is who he is.
If my wife just came in and unplugged my shit right now, I'd be pissed. But I would never put hands on her over something so trivial, or at all for that matter. Let me just clear that up. I don't know.
No, I would go ape shit, I ain't gonna lie. Like, are you fucking crazy?
There'd be a screaming match.
Yes, but I would never come to blows, G.
Well, I'm going to close out this topic now because it's bringing me down, but I'm going to close it with a statement here. dailymail.co.uk, you have a skeevy-ass website, and you need ad curation because your shit is creepy. Next.
All right.
Creepy ass.
All right. Now, we have a couple of things. One from Eurogamer.net. Where's that other one about cheaters? Where is it? Hearthstone. PC Gamer. Yeah. It seems that cheat makers or modifiers, hackers, whatever you want to call them, people who distribute code for existing games, have learned, and these are just two contemporary examples that they've been learning over the years, that they can fuck with people and get cheaters banned by offering them cheats that are guaranteed to get them banned and claiming otherwise. So, from Eurogamer.net, one Counter-Strike player tricked over 3,000 cheaters into getting banned by offering free downloads, hacks that would offer them, oh shoot, I haven't read this in a few days.
Endless ammo, invulnerability, what else did it say? Endless health, things like that.
Yeah, wall hacks and stuff like that. And the great thing is, he was trolling them. They knew he was trolling them right from the start because it skewed their perception, the camera angle in the game, by 45 degrees. You couldn't turn it off. Everything was at an angle. It's the stills, the screenshots are awesome. And it also, it says in here, quote, things like health and ammo are all stored server side. So editing them client side won't actually do anything, but it will let VAC, that's the Valve anti-cheat system, know you're trying to change them, and they will ban you for this. So he knew easily that, your health and your ammo and a lot of other things are stored on the server side, and only the server deals with them. And so he put the alterations client side, instant ban, fuck you for trying to cheat. That's awesome.
Now, I've never played Counter-Strike. Actually, what did you play, Nate, back in...
Counter-Strike, yeah.
Okay, well, then I played it a couple of times. I never played it, but I think it's fantastic. I mean, and this was just a dude? This wasn't Steam or Valve or...
Well, the Valve is what banned them, but a dude made the cheats,
the
quote
cheats,
unquote.
But automatically sent to whoever, and it triggered your cheating thing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's awesome, and all it sounds like to me is a pissed off dude that was sick of dying or whatever. Like, I shot this motherfucker 400 times. Why didn't he fucking die? And he decided, well, I'm going to put out infinite health cheat. And that's just automatically going to let Valve know and it's going to boot him. That's awesome. Yeah, I just think it's fantastic. And it's just a random dude. So it sounds somebody like a little sour grapes. But it's still hilarious that you fell for it. And I read one of the responses. It was hilarious. This is a really great hack. But I fucked up and got hit by an untrusted. And then the guy underneath him, I got banned on casual and it didn't even work properly. so you're retarded. It's just great. I love it. The people are hilarious.
Well, here's how it works. If you cheat in a multiplayer game, you're a scumbag. Ta-da!
Oh, I agree.
And expect to be treated as much.
I agree.
Okay. If you are the person who cheats to beat a single-player game, I don't care because that doesn't affect me.
Mm-hmm.
But if you cheat in a multiplayer game, especially a competitive, even in a co-op, because when you're all powerful and you're just breaking ahead and murdering everything before I can even get there, that's no fun. But in a co-op or in a PvP, when you're playing against me and I'm dying at spawn for no reason, or you're making impossible angle shots and stuff, or whatever the case may be, you're a scumbag. I don't understand the point behind it. We've discussed that in the past. Who cares if you're the greatest ever? If you're cheating, you didn't really earn it. So you're not really the greatest ever. You're just a dickhead.
But a dickhead with a lot of nerd points.
Right. And if you listen to us and you're a cheater, you can go fuck yourself.
Oh!
Okay?
Ow!
Damn, that is harsh. Damn. Bow, right in his fucking kidneys,
Nate,
nigga.
why don't you take this Hearthstone article? It was fucking up my browser. I had to close it.
Okay. Another, on that same topic of cheaters, on PCGamer.com, malware targets Hearthstone cheaters. It's an article by Angus Morrison. I like your name, Angus. Anguish, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, reading. In this PC Gamer article, it says the first Trojan Bitcoin clip purports to be a golden dust hack. Golden dust is what your in-game currency, for lack of a better term, in Hearthstone. It does no such thing, instead scouring the user's clipboard for Bitcoin addresses and swapping out anything it finds for a similar but quite useless string of gibberish. So it's basically taking people's real money, which is hilarious. I don't like the fact that he calls these people occupiers of moral gray areas. Cheating is cheating. So
yeah, well, I think he's doing that in the second half of this very brief article, because I mean, card counting is technically legal.
Yeah, go do it at the casino and see if you come back.
Well, no, I mean, you'll get kicked the fuck out. But it's not illegal. The house just doesn't want to lose. If you can do it in your mind, nobody can stop you, you know?
That's fair.
But I think you're right, Nate. No, I apologize for defying you, because if you're using scripts and hacks to count cards, that's kind of fucked up.
Well, Blizzard has come out and said that they don't mind deck trackers, but the community does. And for anyone who thinks that the community doesn't really have the power, you're delusional. You know, we as individuals might not have the power, but if something in Wall Street needs to change and 10,000 people walk up to Wall Street with guns, something's going to change.
That's the only way Wall Street's ever going to change.
Obviously, that's a rather extreme example, but that's what I'm talking about. Is if you're doing something, and driving is a great example. If you're going 55 and the speed limit's 55 and everyone else on the interstate is doing 75, you're wrong because you're impeding the flow of traffic. And any cop will tell you as such. So it's the same thing. If the community doesn't like it, but the people doing it, the people who made the product don't care or are apathetic or even endorse it, it doesn't matter, because you're going to look like a shithead to the people you're playing with, which is what really matters.
Right, and this guy, Backdoor Brute, created...
That's awful.
Created a hack called HearthstoneDeckTracker.exe and treats all these fucking gray area occupiers like chumps, because the deck tracker does not do that at all. But it will log your keystrokes, steal your passwords, and access your webcam.
Damn, nice. So what we're trying to say in the first two articles is don't cheat. You should stop
Well,
cheating.
you cheat at your own risk.
Well, but like Nick said, you're a shithead. Why are you cheating? I mean, if you're just not good enough to fucking play, get fucking better. There's plenty of games I get my ass
good,
whipped at.
noob.
Well, it's funny because I'm going to sound a little hypocritical, but I don't mean this because I hate cheaters. I think I've made that perfectly clear. I abhor them. They get under my skin. However, if you're going to cheat, maybe learn how to make the code yourself so that you're not downloading one of these things and getting yourself fucked. Although, if you're a cheater, please go down and go Google HearthstoneDeckTracker.exe and download it, please.
Yeah, go for it.
Give it a try. See what happens.
Yeah, see how dangerous keystroke loggers are. Whoa, I don't even want to think about it. I fucking unplugged my computer. Like straight out the wall. Nope. Not happening.
I freaked out because I got a text from Sprint today asking me or telling me, here's my PIN, somebody asked for it, and I freaked the fuck out. Who the fuck is asking for a PIN to my cell phone shit? And then it was just Sarah, but I freaked the fuck out for like 5 minutes about it.
I probably freaked the fuck out too. So
Oh yeah. Okay, next up, and one of my favorite topics of the week. According to Destructoid.com and their contributor Kyle McGregor, awesome name again, we are just full of good names, report Titanfall 2 will include single-player mode. Now, that in and of itself is an awesome idea, and hopefully it is an in-depth campaign. But what excites me more is the creators claim that it will have a theme centered around, how did they put it, like science versus magic. And that sounds super interesting.
So they're changing what the first one was?
I don't know that they're changing it. Maybe adding new lore would be a more appropriate way to look at it. Because I don't know how much fiction there is on Titanfall outside the game. I don't imagine there's a ton, at least not official. So you can look at it as adding lore as to more development of the world that Titanfall is in.
Yeah, that's one of the big problems Nate and I had with it, is that we didn't understand why we cared about the faction. You know, like, Mark Jr., you can relate. When you were, playing Call of Duty, and, you know, you'd just be randomly, okay, I'm the insurgents this time, and I'm fighting, you know, the U.S. Army, and next time I'll be the U.S. Army fighting the insurgents. It really doesn't matter.
No.
Right?
No, not at all. Yeah, it didn't matter at all.
Right.
I didn't care.
But you were invested in the fact that you were a soldier fighting in a battle.
Yes. I wanted to shoot things,
Nate and
mostly.
I had well, especially me. I guess, of course, I can't speak for Nate, but I had a hard time because there was no way to understand why you should be invested in any battle. Because you did, the general sense of the game was there's some sort of like galactic fight over resources, and there's you know, the government overlord style against the rebel, you know, the classic good versus evil, but you still didn't understand why you should give a shit. And I'm hoping that a thorough campaign of at least 6 hours or better will flesh that out. That would be awesome.
Now, I only played Titanfall once, and I don't remember wondering or getting a story on what was going on. So they didn't explain nothing?
I am sure that they explained it very thoroughly in the awful voiceover I couldn't hear because I was too busy worrying about shooting people in their awful multiplayer campaign.
Oh, okay. That makes
Well,
sense.
see, okay, think about it. Think about it. You play your Call of Duty campaign. Like I've been working on a Battlefield Bad Company 2 playthrough campaign. And, you know, you get your battles, and then you have your cutscenes. Your battle and your cutscenes. And, you know, through and through, that's essentially what a shooter campaign comes down to. And the Titanfall didn't even try to do that. They tried to mix the cutscene into the battle, which was, if you paid attention to it, it was super distracting. So 100% of the time, you just didn't pay attention to it because there was more important things going on the screen.
Yeah, and most of the time it was people talking as well. So you've got, it's all multiplayer, so you've got your own team talking, You've got an NPC talking. You've got explosions. You've got bullets. You've got giant mechs dropping into the ground. I'm just not concerned with what some random NPC on the screen is telling me. Unless it's like there's a nuke coming down, which wasn't an option, but you know. If there's some super deadly shit coming, then I'm worried about that. But I'm not worried about this guy telling me that I should go fight somebody because of something with somewhere and something happened.
Right. And in the article, it talks about colonial warfare as if a retelling of the American Revolution and the American Civil War. I always knew it was colonial. In the first one, that was obvious because they called them colonies.
Yes.
So I think it's a perfectly fine idea to model your campaign or the next game as a whole after, you know, colonial campaigns from history. That works just fine for me too. I'm just more excited about how they're going to blend magic into the science of Titanfall. I really hope they do it well.
I'm going to shock any of our loyalists here. I'm actually looking forward to this campaign. Those of us who have listened and know me know that I don't like first-person shooter campaign games. They don't normally interest me. I don't know, but a Titanfall 1 seems to have a different feel about it. Like it's not just... And this was what we just talked about with the downfall of Titanfall, was that it really lacked lore. It did. And for anybody who thinks you can make a generic military shooter, try playing one that doesn't have a story at all. It's generally not very exciting. Mm-mm. You get invested in it whether you think you do or not. Like, you need those cutscenes. You don't need technically cutscenes, but those storytelling devices. You need those.
Yeah. Even if it's just, it happens to be a national allegiance. You know, like in all of the Call of Duties, like the example before, the U.S. Army. Of course, my allegiance lies with my country, so that's your investment.
Exactly. So I'm actually looking forward to Titanfall 2, and in particular, the campaign. Like Clay said, if we get 6 or 7 hours out of it, then I'm good. I wish people would focus a lot on co-op campaigns. I've said that ad nauseum too,
if it could be co-op, that would be so awesome.
But Titanfall 1 was beautiful. It was a very clean game. It had good mechanics. So I'm looking forward to the improvements on Titanfall 2.
And it had I guess I would call it an adequate aesthetic, if you know what I mean, Nate.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't top notch by any means, but it wasn't bad. And because they didn't, you know, blow the graphics out of the water, you could run it on practically any system.
Yeah, so. And the mechs had very clean controlling. So it was a very crisp,
and they felt heavy and powerful.
Yeah. So
okay, well, those who haven't heard from me in the last 4 minutes, it's because I don't give a fuck.
Sorry, we're just gushing over Titanfall. We'll move on.
Well, Mark, would you like to discuss what's it called? Would you like to discuss Kyle McGregor and Angus Morrison having a baby and naming it Angus McGregor for having a great name? Because that'd be sweet.
What?
You guys should do that.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You can't get more Western Europe than Angus McGregor.
Who the fuck is that?
No one. It's no one.
I'm sure it's somebody. I'm sure there's an Angus McGregor somewhere.
Y'all got me getting ready to Google this nigga. Like, who are we talking about?
That's the names of the last 2 authors on the last 2 articles, Mark. Kyle McGregor and Angus Morrison.
Bam, so they're getting together and having a baby? Is he going to look crazy?
I think they should get together and have a baby.
I don't know. It might look like the drawing in this Binding of Isaac article.
Probably.
All right. Whoever put this in, go ahead and take this one, because I have no idea why this is a thing.
That's me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't put it in there.
Hi, Jed. Hi, Jed Whitaker. How are you, buddy?
Oh, it's Jed again.
Oh, God. Go ahead.
Apple rejects The Binding of Isaac for depicting child abuse is Jesus Christ, the title of this article, and it's by our old friend Jed Whitaker. Basically, when The Binding of Isaac, which is has a cult following, it's a video game. Look it up, watch some videos. I've never played it, but the Apple Store didn't approve The Binding of Isaac coming to the iPad because it depicts child abuse. Now, if you Google a video of The Binding of Isaac, there's probably going to be some child abuse in it. However, if you can't tell the difference between the two, between real life child abuse and what the Binding of Isaac looks like, you need some help. And not to mention, let's go on the Apple App Store. What's it called? Is it the App Store? I don't know what it's called. Anyway, I don't like Apple. But anyway, if you go on the Apple Store, I'm willing to bet that you'll find several million titles with violence in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sorry. I like any chance I get to bang on Apple. So.
Sorry, I'm watching it right now, trying to figure out.
Does it look like child abuse when you're the ghost of a fetus and you're going from room to room killing?
Holy shit! You're the ghost of a fetus?
See, I didn't know that. It does looks like a cheap rip-off Zelda game.
I'm pretty sure that you're the ghost of a fetus.
That's fucking wild. And okay, of course,
this on Android?
You can tell by my tone, I've never played this game. I've seen short snippets of video on the various things I watch on the interwebs, but I had no idea it was so twisted.
It's got a good following. People like it.
I know. What's so twisted about it? You're just running around getting a key and dropping bombs on little bad guys.
You remember when Nate said, "You're the ghost of a fetus"?
Well, I understand that, but they should just not said that. Because I don't understand what's wrong with it other than they're just putting the name out there so they can fucking fuck with people or something. Because I don't understand.
Well, the imagery is really fucked up too. I mean, if you look at you scroll down in the post and see the August 19 where it says, "Oh God, so many lasers." Look at those characters. Everything about this game is twisted.
But that's the idea.
No. I'm not justifying Apple's refusal. I'm just saying it's fucked up looking.
Okay, I mean, fucked up looking or not, it doesn't represent child beating,
right? And that's what I'm saying. Is I don't know if this is a case with Apple a lot because I don't own any Apple products, so I don't support them in that way. But does Apple do this often? Do they prevent games from coming onto their platforms because of things like this? Because if you watch any actual gameplay, it's not really
He's shooting poo right now.
There's no real life graphic to it. It's not like
it's very, very surreal.
What was the one where you're the dad and you're beating the shit out of your kid and your wife? Father of the Year Simulator or something like that.
Oh, fuck. I never heard of that.
Jim Sterling did a video on it not too long ago. But you're basically, I can't remember the name of the game. And I can understand that maybe not making it. It doesn't have the realistic graphics, but clearly the intent is that you're an angry drunk dad. And it even says so in the description. You're an angry drunk dad who basically needs to take his rage out on his children. That makes sense, I guess, from a certain point. But isn't that what game ratings are for? Then that person can decide, or that account can decide if that's appropriate for them.
Yeah, I don't understand why Apple feels the need, to curate for parents. I mean, parents are really bad at it nowadays, but at least, those that are bad at it.
Yeah, those guys.
I don't know. This will probably change. This isn't going to hold up, right? It's like one of the most popular indie titles in the world.
Oh, yeah, it's got a huge following.
Is it on Android?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's on Steam.
Oh, okay. Well, I might not pay for it, but if it was free, I'd play it.
I don't know. It's just silly.
It is silly. It looks like Zelda. So I don't
understand
whatever. They're getting offended about nothing.
It's the theme of it, I guess, that they have a real problem with.
I see him shooting balls at poop and shit. So who fucking care? I don't. Okay. All right. Good for you, Apple. You're retarded.
There you go.
All right. When we come back, listeners, we're going to touch on The Division, Uncharted, and what might come next for Rockstar.
Welcome back, listeners. We're going to do our next topic on what's next for Rockstar Games. Now, I'm a huge Rockstar fan, so that's why we went in this direction. I don't even know if my brothers play Rockstar games. I assume that Nate plays Grand Theft Auto. But Sushi Monster 85. It's
Sing
basically
songy. Sushi Monster 85.
he's got a picture of him, just some white dude. Um, what? He's just some white
He
dude.
is just some white
He's
dude.
right there on the side of the screen. But he's just speculating on what they could do next, from Red Dead Redemption 2 to Bully 2 to LA Noire 2 to Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, I'm not pushing for the next Grand Theft Auto. I loved all of the Grand Theft Auto games, minus 4. It was kind of but I loved most of those games. And then when I went online and did their online mode in number 5, I got super pissed off because it was pay to win, and I just stopped playing it. So I'm not advocating for that at all. Now, not like somebody from Rockstar's listening to me, but if you are, I would love to see any of the first 3: the Bully 2, the Red Dead Redemption 2, or the LA Noire 2. Now, ranking in order, I would go with Bully 2 and then Red Dead Redemption. Now, most of you listeners are going to freak shit because you probably want Red Dead Redemption 2 first. Now, the online mode killed it for me as well with Red Dead Redemption. But I loved the actual single player open world concept of it, and it was a fantastic game, and they did a great job with it. But it was, what was it? It's desert Grand Theft Auto with no cars. So, I mean, I was okay with that. But what I would really love to see is Bully 2. Now, this dates me a little bit all the way back to the original Xbox for the first Bully. It did get redone in HD for the 360, but I didn't go out and buy it or anything. I had already experienced what the game had to experience. Actually, this says PlayStation 2, so guess what? I was rocking a PlayStation 2.
Bam.
Yeah, that's it. What's that telling you? That's got to be 15 years ago. Uh, but it was a fantastic game, and I would love to see them do it again. I don't know how you would do it unless you started a new character or just continued the story with it, but I loved riding around on my little BMX and beating the shit out of the bully. And, Clay would hate it, although it is very linear, Clay. So you may like it in that aspect. Everything is a fetch.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw down on this. I've never liked a game that I can remember that Rockstar made. I watched Denise. No, one of my kids play Bully. Wasn't interested in the least. I watched Denise play LA Noire, which I thought was incredibly impressive on the Xbox 360, or at least, well, for the Xbox 360, but still not very interested. I've never gotten into the Grand Theft Auto. I've played my share of each and every one of them from, what did they start? The PlayStation, I believe, was the first one.
What? Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And never could get into it. I can't say what it was that threw me on those games. They just didn't entice me. Every time I started playing it, it was, I don't know. Nate's given me shit so many times in the past that I despise freedom in video games. And I'm coming to think that he's right, because you name a game that provides freedom outside of the zombie game. What's it called? See, I can't remember the name. Outside of Dying Light, I've never enjoyed an open world game. I can't.
I just don't understand that.
I need direction.
I just can't
I can't help
that.
it. Not that I need direction, because Dying Light proved that I don't need it. But often I want it. I want you to tell me, look, dummy, go here and find out what happens next. That's really what I want from a video game, is to just show me what comes next.
All right, that's wild.
Some of their notables are LA Noire, Bully, Red Dead Redemption, Max Payne.
I liked it.
Manhunt, going back a ways. I don't know if you guys played either of the Manhunts. They were pretty good.
I played the first one for a little while. I wasn't a huge fan. But
they made the video game adaptation of the movie The Warriors, which is one of my favorite movies. I love that movie. I thought that the pacing in Red Dead Redemption was way off, and I felt like the game should have ended after the first mission series. Like
It was
that
slow.
seemed
It was
like
slow.
it just seemed like a logical place to stop the game.
So the first mission should have been the last
No,
mission?
it's a series of missions.
No, the first
Clay.
series of missions.
Yeah.
It's done in like acts, like chapters.
Yes.
And I felt like the first chapter would have been like a good episode, basically, if it were an episodic series. So
I don't know. I played it very briefly. I'm maybe Rob borrowed it from you, Mark, or maybe he had a copy or something.
He bought a copy because we played online.
Okay. And yeah, there was just too much space. There was too many directions in which to go.
That's the best part.
okay. But anyway, I wasn't a big fan of LA Noire, but I was a big fan of Bully. Mark and I were talking about it in the break, and it kind of sparked my memory. It was an enjoyable game. I'm with Mark on the Grand Theft Autos. The fourth one was kind of It was very dreary and boring, and I can take my date bowling.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh God, it was
Like,
horrible.
okay, whatever. And yeah, I mean, I'm cool with any of them. I'd like to see another Bully. Red Dead Redemption, okay, whatever. I don't know. They have a formula, and that formula works for them, because if you notice, all these games are pretty much that style.
Yes, pretty much. Yep.
So,
And
I
maybe
think as
that's
long
why
as
Clay
they-
doesn't like them. Because that's the style of game that they specialized in, and I have loved it since day one. So, I don't want you to say you have to go left right here. Fuck you. I don't want to go left. So,
left is suck.
But see, the thing is, okay, it's not that I want them to tell me where I must go. I want them to tell me where I should go to see the interesting bit. Because in every open world game I've ever tried, there's a whole lot of uninteresting nonsense in between the important bits.
Well, that's the whole world, Clay. It's a world.
No,
You can,
I
You
know.
don't walk down the
I
street
live in
every-
that world.
And you don't
My
walk
world
down the
is
street every day and see
boring.
somebody get shot in the head, but you might walk down the street one day and see that. So everywhere you go, there's supposed to be something happening? I don't understand that.
In a narrative game, yeah, everything should be interesting.
I don't understand why you can't take a game for its story and learn to appreciate that it's set in an open world. Like, nobody tells you, Clay, that you have to not follow the narratives. You can follow the narrative straight through on almost any one of these open world games.
Maybe.
No, you can. He's right. Most of them you can.
Except I get confused and I can't figure out which quests advance the plot and which don't, so I end up doing 4 hours worth of complete nonsense and then somehow rediscover the plot through what I thought was just another quest and have completely forgotten what the point was or who the characters are and why they matter.
Well, see, now I'm going to blame you, because that's your fault for not paying attention.
No, I can't help it. Like, I remember Tinker Tom. He was an interesting character. But I don't remember what led me to him.
Well, see, you're not paying attention.
Because what was... I remember what's interesting. And if what led me to him was a chore rather than an interesting undertaking, that's where the flaw lies.
So you didn't find the following the yellow brick road interesting? I thought that was a good part of the story.
Oh, I thought,
Following
I
that
thought
confusing ass red line.
It was frustrating as shit, but once I got through
Hell
it, I
yeah.
enjoyed it. It was confusing. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I didn't sit there and get confused, because I did.
It wasn't even the fact that it was confusing that bothered me. It was the fact that it was boring.
Oh, I didn't find it boring. I found it treacherous as fuck.
Oh yeah, well I
So-
ram past all the bad guys. 'cause
Well, no,
fuck them.
I'm killing all them bitches.
No.
But yeah, that it was treacherous, so that actually keeps it exciting for me if you make it treacherous. So
Stop bailing on the open world game, Clay, all right?
I can't help it,
I
bro.
think-
There's so many more interesting things to do.
I
and
disagree.
play.
I disagree wholeheartedly. There's
No.
open world games are I look for that. Like,
no,
that's what I'm going for.
I would rather fucking Rise of the Tomb Raider lead me around by the head of my dick than wander around the fucking nuclear wasteland for 4 hours wondering if I'm actually accomplishing anything that will advance the plot.
You're always accomplishing something. You're getting more
Nuh-uh.
powerful. But all right. Okay. You don't even
whatever.
make sense. You don't make sense.
But that's okay too. Why can't it be both, Clay? Why can't you just appreciate both?
Because I don't appreciate what's boring. I look to games for entertainment, not boredom. I can't help it. I want to be entertained the entire time I'm gaming. And if there's 3 or 4 hours between the good bits, that is time I'll never get back.
Well, who said there had to be 3 or 4 hours?
There always seems to be 3 or 4 hours.
Only if you make it that way.
Yes.
Well, I'm slow.
You can go anywhere you want.
I can't
So
help
you're
it.
the guy that wants the 8 to 12 hour mission or story, and then it's over, but it kept me entertained for 8 to 12 hours.
Oh, yeah. Every
All right.
time.
Hells no. No, thank you. I feel like you just ripped me,
No.
slammed the fuck
No,
off.
I would rather be entertained for 12 hours than concerned about the number of hours I get to be bored in an open world game. Just is what it is.
It's just lost on you. That's it.
Yeah, I don't understand. I've seen so many arguments on the internet, on the Reddits and whatnot, about replayability and length of playtime and all that sort of stuff. And I can't help but say, I can't. Why should I worry about? Okay, I don't even know how to say this anymore because I've gone over it so many times. The game should present itself to me in the best way it can. And if the best way the game maker knows how to present it to me is hours of boredom between the interesting bits, I'm done. I don't even want to play your game. It's cool.
You just bored the shit out of me.
But most of that's probably getting cut.
Alrighty then. Oh, well, this Uncharted is on nag.com, is that right? Or n4g.com.
No, it's a link to a fucking Twitter account.
It is. But they're just saying he was the lead animator is stating that they're putting their final touches on Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. They said it was completed back in October, but apparently there's finishing touches that needed to be added. So is that a good sign or a bad sign? Is that saying we found some shit that's wrong and we need to fix it?
Well, if he's in a motion capture suit, they might just need better animations than the animators have come up with.
Right, makes sense. But I'm just really excited. I liked all the Uncharted games. I've played through all of them, beaten all of them, and played online on all of them. So I just thought it was really cool, and I actually don't get excited about video games very much, as y'all can tell. But I am really excited that we can finally get another Uncharted out here. Now, I know neither one of you even care whatsoever, but I was always a fan of the Uncharted series. So
it's not that I don't care. I just rated this addition to the document so low because I've never played an Uncharted game. I can't form an opinion on it.
Never played an Uncharted game.
I haven't either. But,
really?
But let me ask you this, Mark. I don't have a fucking PlayStation.
No, that's fair.
But let me ask you this. When you're looking for articles for the document, do you Google shit nobody's ever heard of so I can find shit? Is that what you Google?
I mean, sometimes.
Like, what website has my brother never heard of? Bam, n4g.com.
I'm pretty good at it, aren't I?
Come up with sushiman85.com or whatever. Like, oh, okay, cool. That's all right.
N4G.
I sushimonster85.com. Sweet. Cool. Yeah. I'm just going to go to sushimonster.com, cut out that Rockstar part, so we'll see what comes up. If that's what comes up.
No, that's not what I do at all. So,
that's awful. Did Clay just leave?
Yeah, he said he had to pee or something.
Didn't we just take like a 15-minute break?
He did. And now he had to pee.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, I gotta pee, dude. What the fuck?
Punch him in the tits.
Yeah, I actually ended up, what I typed in the Google engine when I found this article was actually when is Uncharted 4 coming out? And that's what I got.
I don't know. I never played an Uncharted.
No,
I don't know.
they were. I really enjoyed them.
They
It's
look like
a
something
Tomb
I would
Raider
enjoy.
type style of game.
Yeah, it reminded me of Far Cry.
Yes.
I
yes.
just discovered that I love the Tomb Raider style.
Yeah,
of
and you
game.
never even tried Uncharted?
Ain't got no-
Well, I
But
didn't
ain't
have
got
a
no
reason to.
PlayStation, bro.
Nobody ever came to me and said, "Clay, dude, you got to try this game." I hadn't heard of Uncharted until Uncharted 4. The teaser was shown like E3 2014 or 2015. Never heard of it before because nobody ever said, "Hey, Clay, there's this awesome game."
Well, it's because you never played on PlayStation. It's a PlayStation exclusive.
No, the last PlayStation I owned was a
2?
PlayStation.
No, you owned a 2. You gave it to Rob.
Oh no! What's his name? The guy who lived on Aragona Boulevard. Chubby guy.
That one guy.
bartender.
Tim.
Tim. Yeah, Tim gave me that PlayStation 2.
I don't remember that guy at all. Who is that guy?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
at all.
sweet, cool. I thought you were talking about Chipmunk Rob for a minute, and then I realized neither of you probably knew Chipmunk Rob.
Yeah, I knew Chipmunk. I met him at the card store one time with Rob or something, right? Did he work at the comic book store right there on Aragona?
No, that's Skinny Rob.
Oh, okay,
Chipmunk
okay.
Rob worked at Arby's.
Yeah, no, I knew him. I
There's
worked
so
with
many
him.
Robs.
With his sister, Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a panic attack one night, and we laughed at him.
Damn. All right.
There's a story behind that, listeners. That you might side with me. You wouldn't side with me. Never mind. I can't even justify it.
You were being a dick, weren't you, Nate?
No, we were role playing, all right? And his character was very sporadic. So when he started like freaking out in his chair and just kind of shaking, we thought it was like him trying to like act out a little bit in the game a little bit more. So we were all laughing at him. And then his sister came up from downstairs and was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? He's having a fucking panic attack." And we all just kind of stood there. Well, she got him some medicine. And then we kind of left because he was embarrassed. And
Wow.
I will say this, I legitimately felt bad about it afterwards. I was like, damn, I'm a dick.
Well, I mean, how were you to know? Panic attacks were like an invention of the 21st century.
And, well, what the hell kind of panic attack sends you into convulsions?
It was like some kind of part seizure thing.
Oh,
when he gets a
okay.
panic attack, he seizes up and things. I don't know. It was wild. And Chipmunk Rob, if you're listening to this, I don't remember your last name, so I apologize if you're offended by Chipmunk Rob, but my bad, bro.
That's a shame.
Probably
All
not
right.
nice to call people Chipmunk Rob either. But when you have like 6 Robs in your life, you got to identify them one way.
Ain't that the truth?
Right? All right. Well, I think I want to talk about Mad Cats.
I thought they just
according
made
to-
controllers. I read that whole article. I just thought they made aftermarket controllers and shit.
Awful.
Well, that's
awful
the thing.
aftermarket
Okay.
controllers.
On Polygon.com, Samit Sarkar. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I hope I didn't
That sounds
butcher it
right.
too bad.
Sounds right.
But Mad Cats is laying off nearly 40% of their staff in restructuring after Rock Band 4's disappointing sales. And I kind of find this sad because much like Logitech and Nyko, Mad Cats had really turned it around. I mean, you guys remember Mad Cats when we were kids? They made shit.
Yeah,
Just
garbage.
like Nyko.
Did they make the little like handheld shit that was like do, and nothing
you're
would ever
thinking
work
of
right?
Tiger. You're thinking of Tiger Wear or whatever.
Right.
They were
Yeah,
called.
they went out of business a long time ago. But Mad Cats and Nyko accessories, they were pure garbage for like 25 years. And then all of the sudden, and Logitech too, they turn it around and they all start making these great products and defying like a quarter century of bad reputation. And now this happens to Mad Cats. They made a bad investment in Rock Band. And I don't know. I think it really sucks.
Well, anytime anybody is losing their job, that sucks. And they're laying off 37% of their workforce, which really sucks.
That's a big number.
Let me throw them some advice, all right? Listen up, EA. Listen up, Mad Cats. Rock Band, much like Madden, is a game that would benefit, not that Madden needs sales, would benefit from a change in structure. Okay? Instead of releasing Rock Band 4 and Rock Band 5 and Rock Band 6 and Madden 2015, 16, 17, blah, 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 droning on, you release NFL Madden or Rock Band. And then, periodically, you just release $15 content packs. I'm not spending $60 for a new game, which has virtually no changes except minor visual effects. And you're going to make a lot more money because a lot more people are going to be a lot more people are going to be willing to go, oh, look, shit, I can get 10 new songs for $15. Sweet. And then
Nate, you're a genius.
And then
how much could games like these profit from an MMO style model?
Yeah. And same thing with Madden. Unless you're putting in a new engine, all you're doing is updating a roster. It's why when I feel like playing a Madden game, I go to GameStop, or not anymore, but I used to go to GameStop and pick up like Madden 05. Because who cares?
Yeah, right.
I'm spending $3 for it. I'm not spending $60 every year for an updated roster. So maybe you charge for a $25 expansion if you have to put in a new engine. But otherwise, you just put out new songs, new rosters periodically, and bam, you're bringing in a lot more money for a lot less effort.
That's true.
Wow.
It's brilliant, Nate. It really is brilliant. You should call them.
Do either of you know what part they played in the production of Rock Band?
I have no idea.
I didn't even know they helped publish games. So there you go.
When did Rock Band 4 come out?
Yep.
You're talking to the wrong people here, Clay.
Never got into the Rock Band series.
Neither did I. I bought Donna a whole set or something like that, and then we chucked it.
Oh, it was a gimmick.
Yeah, it worked pretty well. Got me to buy $250 setup stupid shit that I ended up getting rid of. So, yeah, it came out in 2015. See, that shows you where I'm at with it.
Yeah, but
what I'm wondering... Oh, okay, here we go. Rock Band 4 was developed by Harmonix. It was published by Mad Catz, so they paid for its development. That's what a publisher does. That stinks.
yeah, so...
And who do they compete with? What is it called? Guitar Hero. That's what it's called.
When was the last time one of those even came out?
2015.
Holy
Yeah,
shit, I am not in.
They're still constantly in the loop, Mark. And I'd be very interested to see if that model would work for them, what their DLC sales are. Because if they just doubled up their DLC effort and did exactly what I said, I think they'd make a lot more money.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
Or at least minimize losses if you are doing it like that.
Everyone prefers to pay less incrementally than pay more in a shot.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah,
so
it's the truth.
If you sell Rock Band 5 for $39.99, well, you're going to get more sales than $59.99. And then if every quarterly update is $15, $20, $25, everyone thinks they're spending less while spending more. It's a genius scheme, Nate.
Not to mention, you're saving money because, no offense to Rock Band, I don't know how you do your stuff, but you don't need a new engine, like, ever.
No.
Yeah, never. Why would you need a new engine?
It's a very basic game. I'm sure they put a lot of development hours into it, I'm sure. So I don't want to downplay what they've done for it. But as far as its actual aesthetic and gameplay, it's a very basic game. Which means you don't really never need to update anything except the music. So that one's free of charge, Mad Catz. Take it, roll with it.
Yeah. We won't look for any cut. It's all good. All right, let's move on to the Division's upcoming open beta. Because, okay, let me just roll this out the proper way. Destructoid.
I got told, fuck you. So.
What? No. That was the closed beta.
One,
yeah.
So fuck them.
Yeah, I got in and didn't even know it. On Destructoid.com, Mr. Joe Parlock reports that the Division's open beta will begin on February 19 on PlayStation and PC. I'm not concerned with Xbox because if I'm going to play it with you guys, it's going to be on PC.
Well, what the fuck? Maybe I'm going to play it on Xbox.
Well, why would you not play it on PC with us?
Because it doesn't support controller?
I'm sure the Division does.
I'm sure it will. Yeah, I'm sure it will.
But and that's how I would play it anyway. But because you and I were stupid and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. But
for some reason, I can't put that fucking you in the middle of the screen and click at the same fucking time. But I can pull a trigger and do it, so it doesn't even make sense. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. But I just dropped this into the document because, one, it's another opportunity, an upcoming opportunity for us to rail on Ubisoft. Because I have every expectation that this game is going to be a bland, useless, very pretty piece of hot garbage. And I'm excited for that opportunity.
Well, that's not very nice.
Fuck Ubisoft. They can take that fuck Ubisoft to the bank and fucking cash it. I have a few of their games. I just started playing Far Cry 3, and that motherfucker won't run right on my machine. And I have a badass computer, and they can suck a dick.
I think you would actually enjoy the narrative in Far Cry 3, Clay.
I bet I would too if that bitch didn't hitch like a motherfucker.
Hey, we played that Splinter Cell. That was fun times.
Yeah, that was fun times because I got to play with my brother, not because I enjoy boring-ass stealth games.
Okay.
Unless it's got a goblin in it.
Well...
You played Dishonored, too. You played Dishonored as well.
Well, I'm about 6-7 hours deep into the PC version of Dishonored, and that was, I think I stopped playing like 5-6 weeks ago because I don't want to play it by myself.
Well, you guys totally ruined my shameless plug. Well, go fuck yourselves. How's
What?
that?
What shameless plug you got?
Take that to Ubisoft's, and you go with them, and you both put it in the bank.
Okay. I don't think they'll take curse checks.
I was going to shamelessly plug our gameplay video, Clay, for our failed experiment series. And then
okay, you just did.
No, fuck you. I take it back.
I take it back.
Yeah.
Awful.
So hopefully we can all get together and enjoy the boredom that is The Division, because I've watched the gameplay, and
When'd you say it started again?
the 19th.
19th.
Time out.
So next Friday?
I got a bitch about every single game developer ever. Every single one of y'all. Can you just fucking have an open beta that's not on a fucking weekend? I work 12-hour shifts every single day on every single weekend. Can I maybe play the game?
But see, the other half of the population works 9 to 5 Monday through Friday.
Right, but would it kill them to just extend it to Monday?
Well, that's fair.
Bam, give me an extra day, then I get a day to play it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bam. What's the problem? It's an open beta. You're just doing stress tests. It's not like we're getting the game for free. So why don't you just make your fucking open beta a whole week?
Now, see? Ubisoft sucking more dick.
Well, that's everybody. I have to like request off if I want to get into an open beta for most games. It's fucking stupid.
And then there's the idea that Ubisoft restricted the PC version of The Division to add parity to the modern consoles, the contemporary consoles. And they deny this, and of course they do, because they have no choice but to deny it. So their denial means absolutely nothing in my mind. But if you do a little research, you spend 15 minutes Googling, you can see their promotional materials from 2 years ago at E3, last year's E3, and now the game as it stands today, and they don't look the same. It looks like a cut down version of the game when you play it on PC. And I would not, in most any universe, no matter the laws of physics in that universe, defy the idea that Ubisoft would placate their platform masters to create parity between them.
Did you just go all Rick and Morty on us?
I have no idea what just came out of my mouth. It's cool. I was like thinking and talking at the same time, which I'm not used to doing. Usually I think it out first, then I talk it.
Fuck that. I'm complete opposite. I just spit that shit out and then like, damn, that sounded retarded.
Okay, well, you just went all Rick and Morty on us, Clay.
I like that show.
It's fantastic.
Never heard of it. Go on.
Go watch it. It's one of the best shows on
It's
television.
hilarious.
Basically, you just take Back to the Future and then make it twisted as shit. And that's Rick and Morty.
Oh, you should check it out, though, Clay. It's hilarious.
It's really good. Anyway.
I don't like television. Go on.
It's funny that you say that, Clay, about Ubisoft and their explanation, because my first thought as soon as I started reading was like, I don't even believe y'all. Before I even got to the original story. I was like, I don't believe y'all at all. Ubisoft gets no benefit of the doubt at all. Zero. Zip. Nada. Go fuck yourselves.
Damn.
So, of course they dumbed it down, and of course they tried to provide the parody, and of course they're going to deny it. It's like watching an athlete give an interview. You know what they're gonna say.
I gave 110%. They were the better team. We got outplayed. Have a good day.
Not if you're Cam Newton.
Well,
Shut up.
Get into that. But anyway, much like the athletes, everything out of the AAA publisher's mouth is a cliche, and it's ridiculous. I don't even want to hear what you have to say.
It will be.
Yeah, I don't even have time to hear that you didn't do it when graphically I can tell you very clearly did do it.
Hey, Ubisoft made one of my favorite games, Driver. That's awesome.
Oh, they make great games.
And Stick of Truth.
They have made some very good games. That doesn't mean that they're not shit.
Okay, I can understand that. Watch Dogs was poop
there's
ass.
a lot of defenders on the interwebs, especially on the Reddits. Oh my God, I spend too much time on the Reddits. But a lot of defenders, you can put up 2 screenshots right in front of them, and fucking Broadway, as it was presented in 2013 and 2014, Broadway as it appears in the game today. And the difference is incredibly obvious, that they took the game from its highest level and pared it down to something that would present parity, and still people deny it. I can't get it. I don't understand why people defend. Like, Activision used to be my favorite game maker. They were my favorite game maker for like 10 fucking years. But I can tell you today, they are shit.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever had a favorite game maker. I mean, I guess the front runner would have to be Bethesda. But
yeah, but if Bethesda made pure shit, would you defend them?
No.
While
I'd
wallowing
rip on
in
them.
their shit?
Yeah, I'd be the first to jump on them. But see, the problem is that Ubisoft does make some good games. The Far Cry series is really good. It gets really good reviews. It has its issues just like every other game, but it's still good. So they can make good games, as you say. Anybody can make a good game, which is bullshit. But anyway, they can make good games, and they have made good games. But that doesn't mean that the company is not shite. Utter shite. Mm-hmm. And even the most diehard fanboy of anything should be willing to admit when their favorite thing takes a shit on them. Because you're the one suffering from Ubisoft's nonsense. It's not
or
me.
Xbox's nonsense, or PlayStation's nonsense, or anybody's fucking nonsense. If you catch nonsense from somebody, please drop your loyalties. They don't count for anything. That corporation doesn't give a fuck about you. Just your wallet.
And as their fanboy, you should be the first one to want them to do better, to call them out on their shit so they can do better because you get a better product.
Mm-hmm.
My cookies just fell off my computer.
Some words of wisdom, including cookies from Nate, but our time is up.
Tag-alongs, bro.
Oh, that shit sounds good as a
Nate,
bitch.
Tell them where everybody can find whatever they want about the Three Cynics.
You can find us on the Facebooks and the stuffs like that, and also on your favorite podcast app and Stitcher. We're featured currently on Blueberry.com, if that's your preferred podcasting venue. YouTube, obviously. Bam, YouTube. Don't forget the SoundCloud, all that kind of fun stuff.
So, if you're listening to us on audio and want to see our video presentations, I try to spice them up a little, but sometimes I get lazy. It's whatever. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's no better than the audio. But if you want to see it, check us out on YouTube and bring us your comments. We love to hear what you have to say. We want your criticisms. We want to know anything that might make this program better for you as a listener. So let us know. And if you're watching us on YouTube, drop those comments. But if you want to hear us while you're doing other things, any podcast app, pick your favorite, download it.
And listen, word of mouth will go a long way. If you find that you like our content and you know somebody who might else, Jesus, all right, fuck it, who might else like our content, please tell them. Sometimes I get retarded with my tongue, and then words happen, not in the popular order. So there you go,
yes.
Bam.
Please spread it around.
Spread it around. Tell your friends.
We want everyone to hear what we have to say, and we want everyone who you think might like to hear what we have to say, hear it. So do so.
Rate us, review us on iTunes. Let us know if we're great. Let us know if we're awful. Tell us. We are more than open to it.
Yeah, we especially want to know if we're awful. and what it is you think we can do to make it better.
But I'm not
So
going to stop
keep that in mind when you're leaving your comment. We'll see you next time.
Toodles.
Bye-bye.